Hello everybody, this is Chris. It's been a long time since I last streamed, but it's time to get started. Today we have a lovely contest. It's for the Facebook ad, and hopefully you're gonna learn a few things about design in general and designs for the Facebook ads in particular. Facebook ads are essential to any business nowadays, so I strongly believe that this is very valuable to most designers. Now the idea was simple. For this specific website, for these products, create a Facebook banner. That's about it. So basically the brief was really vague, and that was intentional. Basically, I provided loads of photos, and that was that. You were supposed to come up with something interesting for Facebook ads. And again, Facebook ads is something that most companies around the world use, and it's one of those ways where you can really create a lot of value for the most companies. Because again, a simple banner can totally transform a business. It's really that simple. So again, you were supposed to create the Facebook banner for these products, right? Again, you had a vast amount of photos. I think you had about 50 photos to choose from. So you basically had no particular thing in mind. You had total freedom. And with total freedom, it's a great thing and a bad thing as well. On most freelancing platforms, when you have a vague brief, that's, believe it or not, that's the best case scenario. Because when you have a brief that's really complicated, unfortunately, that means the client has something in particular in his mind, and it's really difficult to actually create something that he's going to be happy with. When you have a very detailed brief, most of the time what's going to happen is you're going to get two stars and 3 stars, basically the entire contest. So again, the brief was really vague, and this is what you guys came up with. So as you can see, we have 10 entries in total, and I also have a few entries of my own because this is actually a real project. Now let me state something before we actually dive deep into it. The price, $20, that's really, it doesn't really matter. What matters most here is you trying to see how I, as a business owner, would actually look at your designs. Plus, you get the added value that I'm actually a designer. So again, you should see a lot of things during this stream. So let's get straight right into it, because I think that's the most important bit. Okay, so again, for these products, a simple banner, 1200 by 1200 pixels, do whatever you want, text in English. Besides that, there were no limitations, right? We got the following designs. So these are all the designs that you guys submitted. And basically, I'm keeping them at this size because if you grab your phone and if you log on Facebook, this is the type of ad that you're gonna see. Again, Instagram, same thing. So this is basically the most relevant screen size. So fairly small, right? I believe Facebook on mobile, at least in my country, makes up about 90%, so 90% of the overall traffic. So because of that, it's really important that your design should be visible at this small size, right? Because what most designers do is they do something like this, right? And they say, okay, this makes a whole lot of sense. You can read everything. You can see all these details here. But in all actuality, this is how the design is actually going to be seen, right, for the end user. And that's basically all that matters, the end user, because again, this is a banner that's supposed to stay on Facebook. So that's the number one thing you have to consider when you're starting any design whatsoever. Where is it going to be used? Is it going to be printed on the side of a building, or is it going to be shown on a mobile phone? Because if it's on a mobile phone, again, you have to take into account the small screen size, right? So right off the bat, you can see that some designs are really busy, right? So that's a bit tricky. Another thing that really stands out is that some people went for a dark theme, so very dark colors, while others went for something that's fairly bright, right? So let's talk about that. Now, the company in question, this is the current website. You can see a whole lot of white. You can see pink. You can see this lovely font that's handwritten. And overall, if if there would be one word to describe it, well, actually, let's use a few more words because I don't want to put a whole lot of pressure on myself. I would say that this is clean and somewhat feminine. And I think most of you guys would agree that this is clean and somewhat feminine, right? Because again, the pink, the large amount of white space, I think that's fair, right? So if the website looks this way, the design should mirror the website, right? So this is where we're having a bit of issues. Take, for example, this one with a whole lot of black, right? Let's actually zoom in and actually see at its actual size. So this right here, this is actually a pretty good design, right? If you look at it. The jar is nice and clean. You can see the title here, rye flakes. You can see the branding, the company's name. You can see something regarding a sale. So this is all pretty good, right? And the contrast between this yellow and this black background, totally nice, right? It makes a whole lot of sense. But where it falls short is when you take into account this particular website. Yeah, we do have some black here, but it's what, 5% of it, right? Less than 5% of the entire design. So because of that, you really have to consider, does the banner represent the company well? Does the banner seem like it would fit on the existing website? And if not, then that's a mistake. And unfortunately, that's the case here. Even though this is pretty good, even though this looks pretty nice, unfortunately, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it looks nothing like the website, right? So because of that, we're gonna have to start eliminating designs. So let's start with this one. Okay. And we're gonna make it bright red. Quite unfortunate because again, the design itself is pretty good, but again, it's not good enough, unfortunately, because it doesn't fit the overall theme. Now, another thing you're gonna see right here is this part, which is way too busy. So first and foremost, in any ad in particular, you should focus on one strength, right? You don't need to tell the whole story of the company in one single ad, right? It's just a small square. It's 1200 by 1200. You can't really compress every single information of every single product. It's very rare for the company to offer a single service, right? Most companies have lots of products, right? And this is a pretty good, this is on the low end. This particular company has about 30 products, right? So when you're trying to create a banner ad for Facebook, you should never actually create loads of products into a single design. You should focus on one single product and that's it. Because what you're trying to do is get sales, right? This is what most companies want on Facebook, getting sales. And basically, it's really simple. What most companies do is they do something like this. They let me actually open up Facebook. You have multiple campaigns here. You have multiple ads. And basically, you're going to compare the efficiency of these ads. You're going to see the click-through rate. You're going to see whatever the amount of clicks, how much a click costs and whatnot. So basically, this is what most companies do. They have a look at how the ad performs. But again, the ad is supposed to feature one particular product, right? You're going to show off one particular product and that's it. So again, because of that, unfortunately, this doesn't work. Even if this was fantastically designed, even if, you know, no reflections and the text was nice and clean, and even if everything was perfectly done from a design standpoint, from a logical standpoint, it doesn't make sense. So I hope you understand that. Because again, when you create a Facebook ad, you have to focus on one particular product. So that's that. There is something to be said about creating an ad for the brand awareness, where you want to show off the company's values or the company's products. But again, that's something that most companies don't go for. Okay, most companies that you're going to work with that are going to pay you $500, $1,500, $2,000 per a design, they are not going to be Nike where they resort to brand awareness. Most of them want to showcase, again, a jar of whatever, the peanut butter or whatever. They want to sell one specific product, right? So again, because of that, we're going to eliminate this particular design. This one, again, even if everything was beautifully done, a collage isn't a great way to go. Nobody uses collages on Facebook ads. I haven't seen a collage in ages. So because of that, even though the font doesn't have a great visibility, even though this font should not be used in all caps because it's not legible, you can't really read it. Even though, you know, there's loads of mistakes here in terms of execution, even if this was perfectly done, it wouldn't be a great ad because of that. Okay, now the next one. I quite like the colors, and I think this is fairly well done in terms of colors because this particular background works well with this shade of whatever this is, burgundy, red, whatever you want to call it, right? But unfortunately, that's where the good news stops. As you can see here, these colors, they're a bit jarring, they're a bit too much. But leaving that subjective thing to the side, have a look at what it says. Drinks, sale, offer, save 25%, then again 25% off, then order now. So this is basically this is one of the things that I really wanted to showcase. It's a matter of what type of effort you're putting into this copy. Copy is the actual text. So if you're just slamming words and you're just putting whatever, sale, premium, discount, get it now, buy now, purchase, if you're just throwing out words, it seems like you're lazy. It seems like you don't know what you're doing. You do need to have a bit of copywriting in you. So again, drinks, it doesn't make any sense. Sale, okay. Offer, save 25%. So basically, you're like a cheap car salesman. You're way too shouty. Because of that, I'm sorry, I can't really mark this design with any decent grade. Because again, it's way too shouty and the copy doesn't make a whole lot of sense. To me, this seems like you downloaded something from FreePic, the background and this part right here on the left side, and then you added these to order now and 25% off. Now, in terms of the actual design side, have a look at this shadow. This is not how I teach you to create a shadow in Photoshop, in my Photoshop courses. So from what I'm seeing here, it seems like you just didn't watch my courses, or maybe you missed a few lectures. More than that, you can see that there's one font here, and then this is a different font right here. These are actually two different typefaces. I believe that this one on the right is Open Sans, and this one on the left is something completely different. So that's again a fairly big mistake. You shouldn't make this type of mistake. One final thing, when you're dealing with these types of bubbles, don't use this type of line height. This is probably left at automatic. You shouldn't use it. What you need to do is you need to shrink this amount of space because it just doesn't look all that great. What you want to do is you want to make sure that 25% is as big as possible. Make it bold, make it black if possible, so as chunky as possible. And again, try and make it so you can actually draw two parallels right here. So you can see that there's a bit of empty space here. So overall, again, I think you could do a whole lot more with this type of design. But let's not dwell on that. I think, you know, if we get into what you could have done, it's a very long story. Now this one, I quite like this one, but again, when you're all the way zoomed out like this, you can see that this is fairly hard to read. Order now, it's incredibly small. The website again is incredibly small, but you do see the jars, and that's pretty good. Notice that I'm inclined to just zoom in, which again is not a good sign for an ad. I do like the font Weekend Deal, pretty good, but there's a whole lot of empty space right here that doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me. It seems like you didn't know how to manage this empty space, so that's quite a shame. I'm gonna leave it here, but I'm not in love with it. I have to be honest, I'm not in love with it. Plus the fact that, you know, this yellow isn't shown on the existing website. This blue, it is in the company's color palette, but not in this amount. So this is, it's not using the company's colors. This part, okay, so you can see a clear execution mistake right here. The bottle is translucent, the opacity is too low, so this is a big execution mistake. Grab this deal now, $3.99, pineapple and honey. This doesn't seem to be centered. There are way too many fonts here. So we have one font here, Mega Sale, then a second one, Lemonade, the third one here. I'm guessing this might be a fourth one, I'm not really sure. Another thing, you spelled the name of the website wrong. There's various execution mistakes here. Get it on Google Play. This is not an app. You shouldn't use Get it on Google Play because this is not an app. So again, this just shows me that you didn't understand the brief. And basically any client is going to eliminate you right from the get-go, right? I think this is one of the major mistakes. Even if the design was slightly better, when you make so many mistakes one after the other after the other, you're just going to get eliminated. Because see, the thing is, as a designer, I know that this type of design can be improved in about 10 minutes or so, right? Really, just rapid, right? Nothing all that fancy, you know. Remove some of the fonts, remove this part right here because it says so right here what type of lemonade this is, so you don't need to say that it's pineapple and honey. Make this, it's way too wide, so you have to narrow it down. Remove this white part here. So there's various things that you can immediately do to improve it. But again, clients don't have this type of imagination. So in most competitions, you're just gonna get eliminated. So I'm gonna do the same thing here with you. Now, the next thing. So both of these designs, they seem to be created by the same designer. You played with the company's logo, which you shouldn't do. You should not use Coca-Cola in a different font. It's not something that you actually do. But leaving that aside, let's just assume that's fine. Let's see what else. You do see that this designer actually put a lot of put more effort into it versus, for example, this guy right here or this guy right here. So you can see some effort, right? The background is pretty interesting. You have this splash right here, which is pretty good. We have a shadow. So in terms of actual execution, in terms of actual photoshopping, this is pretty good. But when you have a look at the website, it has little to no relation. It just doesn't seem like they're connected. Again, order now, pick your flavor and enjoy. It's a decent design, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have anything to do with the website. And now there is something to be said about, does it have to reflect the website? Does it have to look the same way as you do, as the website does? The short answer is no, to be honest. I mean, at the end of the day, what matters is the number of clicks, the number of sales, how the ad performs, because Facebook basically shows off more of the banners that work better. Basically, you submit various 10 banners, for example, and only 2 of them get 80% of the clicks. So because of that, Facebook just shows only those 2, and the rest of them, it just basically gives them no traffic, no ad spend. So it doesn't actually have to represent the company, to be honest, but it's one of the things that you should strive for. And more than that, you should really think about if it's gonna get enough clicks, if it's visually stunning. Again, I think overall I'm gonna leave this one because it does check a lot of boxes, even though I would not use this design on an actual campaign. Now, this one is again a bit too busy, a bit too masculine. These types of things, again, they might work great for the gaming website, for anything that's masculine. But again, for these types of products, for the feminine audience, my audience is about 65% women, I don't think this ad is actually gonna work all that great. But here's the thing. I'm gonna show you some of my designs that I just made a few days ago, and you're gonna see what I mean. So I'm gonna leave this one as well, and then we're gonna have a look at this one. I think I had a variation with this one, but it was just different colors, so I'm just gonna use one. Indulge yourself, pretty clean, pretty nice. The colors are pretty okay. They don't represent the brand all that much, but believe it or not, this is actually a bit better than this one, for example. So if we compare this one at the bottom with this one right here, I believe that most people would actually click this one because it's cleaner, it's more feminine, it's more balanced. So I think I'm gonna eliminate this one, and we're gonna end up with these 3. Okay, so basically I think we only have 2 designers. Now before we move forward, then we're gonna vote, because again I do want your guys' input. I want to show you what I designed myself. and we actually have quite a few other banners here. Let me start out with what I designed. This is the first one. It says real lemonade. This is what it says right here. I'm not in love with the contrast. I actually ended up not using it because I didn't like it at this specific size, so I actually didn't use it. But yeah, this is the type of thing that I designed, right? One single product, the logo right here. I didn't mention the website, I didn't mention the company's name because people don't care about it. All that's important is to get people to actually click on the design on the banner and go towards that specific product and purchase it, right? So this is the first design that I made. A few USPs here, unique selling points, USP, free shipping, 100% natural, whatever, right? The price right here, which is a bit of an afterthought. I'm not really happy about the price. I think I could have done a better job here. But yeah, this is the first design, right? And again, this is the type of thing that we have to do. We have to compare these ones here with these ones here. And again, we're doing that not because it's a competition between me and all you guys. It's a competition because, again, this is how Facebook ads actually work in the real world. My company creates a set of banners, your company creates a set of banners, and then it's a clash, right? So again, this is not about the money, this is not about the competition, this is not about me showing how great of a designer I am. It's about showing off how the discussion is being held with regards to Facebook ads. It's a very competitive place, and your designs have to be incredibly well thought, well executed, and again, the logic behind them has to be impeccable. So this is why I'm showing you what I designed. Here's the second one, which is again very much in line with this last one. It's fairly clean, there's not a lot of elements to it. There's a fit girl here that's pointing. We have a beautiful font that says feel lighter, because that's something that most people want, healthy digestion and whatnot. The product itself and the logo that says view details here. So this is another design, fairly simple, yellow, which is in my branding, but in basically in very small amounts. And yeah, very simple design that I believe is gonna get a lot more clicks. The next design, again, the same basic thing. I included again a fit girl, some flowers here and there, which again may not be visible at this specific size, but I think it's a nice touch. That was a bit too much white, so I felt the need to break it off. I couldn't use any type of color for the background, so I think the flowers are the nice choice. Again, a different type of copy here. It says the perfect breakfast, and then the product. Now, one of the things that's critical with regards to Facebook ads is the actual copy, the actual text. So basically what I'm trying to do is, instead of focusing on the product, instead of saying no sugar, low carbs, lots of protein or whatever, I'm trying to follow basically all the advice that I've ever read, and all people in terms of branding seem to say the same thing. Don't talk about the product, talk about how you feel when you use the product, right? So it's things like, you know, feel lighter, right? Don't worry about breakfast anymore. Screw diets or something like that. Forget diets. This is your new breakfast. Feel happier with your diet. Things like that. So what you have to do is you have to really brainstorm exactly like I did. Say everything that comes to mind. The perfect breakfast. Feel happier. Spend more time with the family. So this is the type of thing that you actually should strive for. Because again, the idea is simple. Eat this, stop wasting time in the kitchen, and spend more time with the family. Now, how you actually condense that into just a few words that you see here, the perfect breakfast, is obviously incredibly difficult. But you only have to do it once. You only need one slogan, one catchphrase, right? Feel lighter, because you're worth it. This is L'Oreal, by the way. So you need one single thing, and based on that, you can actually create loads and loads of ads if you nail that copy. But that's the thing, if you don't invest the time into it, if you just put the title like this guy did right here, rye flakes, So this is just the product itself, right? If you just say oatmeal, if you just say whatever, biscuits, peanut butter, it's not enough, right? And again, I think most clients appreciate when you go the extra mile. I think most clients would appreciate if you first and foremost would send them a few ideas regarding the text. Hey Chris, look, before I get started with the banner, let me throw some ideas. How do you feel about feel lighter? How do you feel about the perfect breakfast? How do you feel about spend more time with your family, not in the kitchen? And then the client is gonna say, hey, you know what? The one with the kitchen sounds good, but it's too long. How about you say something about not wasting time? How about you say something about feeling better with your diet? Things of that nature, right? And then you actually get to work and you start designing. So that's the first thing that you should really think about. And here's the final one again. Now you know what you're gonna eat every morning for your figure, for your figure. So this is what the text says. Again, there's a woman smiling with a laptop, then the product right here. So again, this is the type of thing that I'm really interested in, because I think, again, you really have to show off, obviously, the product, that's ideal, but you have to show off the person using it. And most people that purchase these products are working in an office, are working on a laptop, they don't have time, they're fairly active. So again, this is why I chose this specific image, right? So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to narrow my audience. This is the business owner talking. So it's this girl right here, and then there's this girl right here. These may be one and the same person, or these may be completely different audiences. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the same ad to the same audience, women, for example, 25 to 45 in Bucharest, and then I'm gonna see which one of these ads resonates more. And if this girl that's fairly fit, if this girl gets more clicks and more sales, obviously I'm not gonna waste any more time. I'm not gonna create these types of ads anymore. I'm just gonna go with this type of design. Now, if this doesn't work, I may come back to just showing off the product itself, and that's gonna be that, right? So again, this is how Facebook ads actually works. It's all about testing. Even though you may love, for example, this one, it really doesn't matter what you think. What matters is what works best in terms of analytics. So that's essential. So now, let's do a quick recap. First and foremost, the copy, the text is really, really important. So make sure that you talk to the client before you actually design something. If the client is not responsive, you're just gonna have to gamble. You're just gonna have to take risks and just create loads of designs, at least 3-4 designs, no more than 8. Okay? And then try various things. The perfect breakfast, feel lighter, feel better, healthy digestion, whatever. Okay? Try and use the company's branding. Try and use, try and make sure that the banner somewhat reflects the website. It doesn't have to be one-to-one, but definitely not like this with a whole lot of black when the website is fairly light. And yeah, that's basically it. Now let's do the following. Let's actually have a vote and let me know if you guys prefer one of these designs. So this is gonna be 1, this is gonna be 2, and then this is gonna be 3. To tell you the truth, I'm not gonna use any of these, but I do believe you guys deserve some appreciation. So this is why I'm actually gonna have a vote. So please vote number 1, number 2, number 3. This is in general, so please vote right now so we can actually have we can have a winner. Again, I'm not a real big fan of either of them. I think the third one is a bit too, it's too simple basically. It doesn't show a whole lot of effort. I do appreciate the title, indulge yourself. That's pretty good, it seems like the designer tried. These other 3, again, these other 2, sorry. In terms of Photoshop, you can see some effort has been put into it. This designer actually put some effort into it. He did work quite a while on it. Again, major mistakes in terms of, you know, he changed the font for the company's name. It's a bit busy, the first one, and it doesn't really seem all that feminine. So that's something that I think it's a bit of a mistake. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the vote up a bit longer, and then I'm gonna see who's gonna actually win it. Again, this is for $20. I am thinking about you know, just continuing doing these types of streams and doing this competition over and over again. Let me know what you think. Again, the money aspect is something that's a bit tricky, because I would love to have, you know, $50 or whatever, but then I believe that people will only participate for the money. And again, this is not about the money. This is about the learning experience. I do believe that by seeing what other people designed and what I designed, and by understanding what I'm actually looking for as a business owner, I do believe that this is gonna give you a whole lot more value than $20 or $50 or whatever, right? So let's have a look here who actually voted. Okay, so number one is the winner. We can see that this is the winner. Let me actually show you the votes. So it's all clear. 7 votes for number one. Only 2 votes for number 2, so that's actually quite interesting, because number 2 is actually a bit better as far as I'm concerned. I think, yeah, I think, you know, by having the product at a larger size, I think it looks a bit better. But I'm not a fan of these masculine angles, these lines and whatnot, which is again something that's specific to a masculine design. But yeah, overall, number 1, he's the winner. Yeah, it is difficult to vote because there are so many sides to consider. But basically, yeah, you know, just try and choose the best one out of the 3. But yeah, again, number 1 is the winner. Who's the winner? If he's in the chat, please raise your hand, because I would really like to congratulate you. But again, one more thing, and then we're gonna end the stream. One more thing. So here's the situation. Call for more information. We don't care about that. The website, we don't care about that. Because again, when you open up Facebook and you click on a banner, you're taken to their website. So showing off the website doesn't matter. Having a phone number there, do you actually believe that people are gonna be spending time on Facebook scrolling, and then they're gonna see a banner, and then they're gonna see the numbers 7543, write that down, and then let me call it? That's not how it works. So phone numbers, including a phone number in a Facebook design doesn't make any sense. You may use it to, you know, maybe add more balance to it, but yeah, overall, again, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because people can't select it, people can't click anything. Even this button, again, this actually makes sense because you do want to entice people, you do want to make people actually click the banner, but actually you can't really click this part right here, this button versus this other part. It's all one link, it's a single link. If you click on the image, you're going to be taken to the website, and that's that. So again, it doesn't really matter. Okay. So yeah, number 1 is the winner. Let me see if someone is here. You use website and get it from Google Play in your course. Yeah, actually I did have a campaign. I actually had an app for this website. So basically, if people didn't want to use the mobile version of the website, I actually had an Android app, and yeah, that specific design was actually used for an app install campaign. So then the idea behind it was to actually get app installs, not to get direct sales. So it was something. I appreciate you keeping me in check, but it was actually not a mistake. It was actually intentional. But yeah, in general, you shouldn't get it on Google Play unless it's an app that you're trying to promote. Now, obviously, you do want to show what's it about, you know, what the app is all about. So this is why you actually show the product itself. But again, the goal there is to get people to actually install the app. So that's why in the course, I actually used get it on Google Play, because at that particular time, I did have an app and I actually used that design to get app installs. So number 1 is the winner, this design right here, but unfortunately he doesn't seem to be responding in the general chat. I hope he's gonna reach out, and congratulations, you just won $20. Or if you want one of my courses from Udemy, just message me about it, and then that's gonna be that. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I think we're gonna have another contest for the next Sunday. I'm gonna think about it, and then I'm gonna post it. Let's actually vote in the general channel. Do you want another contest for next Sunday? Yes, no. Please vote right here, and then that's gonna be the end of the stream. Again, if it's gonna be the same contest, if it's gonna be a new contest, probably it would be the same thing, because I do want to see how you guys progress. I do want to, yeah, seems like everybody wants it. Okay, so yeah, okay, then we're gonna do another contest. And again, the whole idea, I'm gonna say it till I'm blue in the face. The whole idea is to get better at your design work and get better at interpreting what the client wants, right? You are not gonna get perfect briefs out of me, because that's not how the real world works. Clients are very difficult. Clients are very picky. So because of that, I'm gonna make it a bit harder for you guys. So again, don't expect a brief that's very well written with loads of details and whatnot. So that's not because I'm lazy or that I don't have enough time. It's actually intentional. And the second thing, again, it's not about the money. I'm not planning on actually using these designs, but I do want to see how you guys are going to take this feedback and actually put it into your own designs and make them better. Okay, guys, thank you so much. This is going to be on YouTube as well. Thank you for tuning in. This is Chris signing out. Thank you so much.